Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. Today we're going to use the Ninja Woodfire Grill again, and we're going to make ourselves a very economical meal. Why is that? Because we're using eye of round cut. It is from the round region of the cow or beef animal, if you prefer, back towards the hind quarter. That's where you find the eye round, top round, and bottom round. The cut tends to be pretty tough, so therefore it's pretty cheap. This right here was $4.99 a pound. So what do you do with a cut like that? Well, there's two different things you can do with it. Number one, you can take it and slow cook it. Cook it for a very long time, give plenty of time for those fibers to break down, and then you'll have a decent meal. Or you can cook it like we're going to do today to a medium rare and then cut it very thinly against the grain. That'll give you some very short fibers and it'll be tender. So when we make our smoke pit beef sandwiches today, that's exactly what we're using. Also, we're going to use the Cook 2 feature on the Ninja Woodfire Grill. So before we cooked a pork butt on the Ninja Woodfire Grill, we set that temperature and then we would check the temperature over and over again towards the end of the cook to make sure it got the desired temperature. Today, we're going to insert the probe into this, and once it hits the temperature that we're looking for, which is 125, medium rare, it's going to stop cooking. So it'll be good to test that feature out. It'll be the first time I've used it. We've got our eye of round here. What we're going to do is hit that with some rub. What I have here is some Cattleman's Grill Roadhouse rub. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I get it from All Things Barbecue out of Wichita, Kansas, atbbq.com. Once again, sadly, not sponsored, but damn, they have a lot of good stuff. So, without further ado, let's get this thing all seasoned up and then out on the Woodfire Grill. We're going to season this pretty liberally. I really like this rub because it has a bunch of big pieces to it. Sort of like a tri-tip rub. So there's big hunks of salt and garlic. Yeah, this is some good stuff, and it's going to be fantastic for our sandwiches. All right, and then for the rest of it, we'll just use what fell off. Roll that around there, get all we can. All right, well seasoned, sort of a mess, fantastic. Let's go out to the grill. All right, let's get this puppy fired up. First of all, I am going to take the selector here and take that to smoker. And then we're going to hit this, and we're set to 250, which is the temperature we want to cook it at. Now we're going to hit this preset button. So there I can choose whether it's beef, chicken, pork, or fish. We're going with beef here. We want it to be medium rare. Set to medium rare. That's going to take it up to 125 for us. So now we're going to take that probe. We're going to insert it right into the center of the thickest part of the meat. I've already loaded the pellet box here with some competition pellets. So now we're ready to roll. Now we hit start. It's going to go through the ignition sequence, which takes about 3 to 5 minutes, and then it's going to tell us to add our food, and in goes the roast. All right, just beginning to see and smell some smoke, so we're just about to add this. So I use this preset button, which allows you to set either rare, medium well, or well. If you want more precise measurement, you want something different, there's this manual button over here where you can set the exact temperature that you want your meat to cook to. All right, the ignition sequence is complete. Now let's get a roast on. All righty, now a couple hours and we'll be there. We'll see you then. Now the recipe in the Woodfire recipe book has a recipe. That's saying recipe a lot, isn't it? Anyway, there are instructions for a horseradish sauce, but recently, we ate at a restaurant here in the Phoenix area, Firebirds, and they had the absolute most amazing horseradish sauce I have ever tasted. And believe it or not, they gave us the recipe. So that's what we're gonna make to go with these sandwiches. So first of all, I got my Kewpie mayo here. I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup. Then we're gonna follow that up with about 1/4 cup of sour cream. About a tablespoon of mustard, and they said their secret was this Zatarain's Creole mustard. You could probably get away with any kind of brown mustard, but it was so damn good I didn't want to deviate from their recipe. So a tablespoon of this. 2½ tablespoons of prepared horseradish. Now I imagine if you sort of like horseradish but you don't like it too strong, you could substitute deli horseradish for this, which is basically prepared horseradish and mayo that's already been mixed together. So it's a bit milder. And then we have 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of dry mustard. And that's it. We're gonna get all that mixed up and then get it into the refrigerator to get it set up before we have our sandwiches. All right. Oh, yep, just like it was the restaurant. Fantastic. Alrighty, been cooking for about just over 2 hours, and we have hit our temperature. So we'll go ahead and get the probe out of there. I'm dumb for not wearing gloves. It's probably gonna be pretty hot. Oh, not too bad with that coating on there. The roast is looking very good. Now we're gonna get that onto a tray. We're gonna get that covered and let it rest for at least 30 minutes up to an hour. Because we're gonna cut it real thin. If we just start cutting into it now, those juices are gonna go flow everywhere. But if we let it rest for a while, those juices are gonna reincorporate in the meat and we will get super juicy, tender, because we're cutting up thin, pieces of meat for our sandwiches. So, let's get inside. All right, we're back inside now, obviously, and the roast has been resting. So now, let's get it sliced. So I said before, slice it incredibly thin. If you don't have a meat slicer, then just do the best you can with your sharpest knife. But we have a meat slicer, so that's what I'm gonna use. So first of all, if there's any strings, get rid of those. Okay, I'm gonna cut this in half so it fits better on my slicer. And then we'll get this sliced up. All right, got it all sliced up. Let's answer the most important question. How did the Woodfire Grill do? So, as you can see here, we got a good medium rare. And then the taste. And yes, it did impart that smoke flavor. So from this point on, make your sandwiches how you want to. We're taking some hoagies, melting cheddar cheese on one side, pepper jack cheese on the other, putting that horseradish sauce on there, maybe some tomatoes. You can toast your bread, you can not toast your bread, all sorts of different options. Let's try this real quick with that sauce. All right, got us another piece of the beef here, a little bit of that horseradish sauce. Freaking outstanding. Hey, I hope you enjoy what you saw today. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Do you have a Woodfire Grill? What have you cooked on yours? We'd love to know about it. So I got to make up some sandwiches for the family now. And it's going to be a good night. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. And until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas.